Intro music.
Come on in.
A star for the ages for Tony Gwynn, number 3,000.
They have acquired Eric Johnson and Fernando Tatis Jr. from the White Sox in exchange for James Shield.
Welcome to Slam Diego.
My name is James.
My name is Joey.
And this is the Brothers Padre.
James. The San Diego Padres have traded for Sean Manaea.
What? Shocking news. First time I've heard of it.
Yes. Not the first time, but the first time today. Today was the first day we were part of the rumors. And not even part of the rumors. We just got him.
Yeah, so literally, as has been mentioned before, Joey and I have different lifestyles. I'm a single fella that stays up late at night, partying and,
Oh, yeah. Lots of partying.
Shaking up, cutting rugs.
Shaking up rugs?
Shut up. Joey is a responsible adult with a child, and so he goes to bed early.
Yeah, I do.
Joseph woke me up this morning with a phone call, and my immediate response was, did we trade somebody? And you're like, we just got Sean Manaea. And on my way here, I was thinking, like, that's so weird that I just assumed that. I mean, you could have been like, I'm stuck in a fire, save me. Mm-hmm. But my first thought was, obviously, the Padres did
Obviously, we
something.
traded someone,
Yeah.
Because you're not the first person I call if I'm in a fire. I call 911. So, sorry.
I would like to think that you would have faith in me, but whatever.
Are you a 14-ton fire truck?
No. Like, yeah, so you're on fire. Is it bad? Can I take a shower first? What's the deal?
Sean Manaea, left-handed starting pitcher for the Oakland Athletics, was sent over for Erubel Angelis and Adrian Martinez, and those are our Padres' 8th and 18th respectively ranked prospects. For I forget, we got the Athletics sent someone else back, and I think I always forgot his name. Sean Manaea and as I scramble through Twitter to find this answer,
So here's the thing about Sean Manaea.
Aaron Holiday.
Aaron Holiday. Joey, correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever you see a trade
Yes.
for a high-end piece like Sean Manaea, and the people you give away are two guys you've never heard of before,
Right.
it's a good trade.
Yes. So we haven't talked. We just turned the microphones on. We want to talk about it. So, James, what's your like gut reaction? What's your thoughts? What's your raw emotions about this?
The Padres have the best potential starting rotation in all of baseball. And because Sean Manaea is one of those guys that if he had 0 run support.
Right.
And he was playing, when he's on, he's phenomenal.
Yes.
He faced the Padres twice last year and tore us apart.
It was awful watching those games.
We won the game he played in Petco just because they took him out in the 7th inning and we scored 4 runs. But when we faced him in Oakland, he destroyed us. You know what the best way I could describe him?
Yeah.
For people who don't know who he is, think of a left-handed Joe Musgrove.
Yes. And that his slider to lefties is like the run on it. So pitching ninja always, I feel like, whenever Sean Manaea has a good day of throwing sliders, Sean Manaea's slider to lefty just like it starts at your head and it lands in the right-handed batter's box. It's gnarly. It's a gnarly thing. But with this, the starting pitching depth currently as it stands today for the San Diego Padres: Darvish, Musgrove, Manaea, Snell, Clevenger, Nick Martinez, Paddock, Gore, Weathers, Kinnear.
I was thinking this on my way over here.
Yeah. That's a lot of starting pitchers.
It's a lot of starting pitchers. If we were to just take out the question marks of that rotation.
Who would those question marks be?
Well, basically, young players or players that haven't 100% proven themselves in the big leagues.
Yep.
That would leave us with Darvish, Musgrove, Snell, Clevenger, and Manaea.
Yeah.
If for that 5-man rotation.
Right.
Now it's true, Clevenger has a little hurt knee
Yes.
today, so that might be a bad thing.
I don't know.
I don't know, but also it could just be that Manaea's starting today, and they wanted him to see him as quick as possible, and Clevenger was going to play through the pain because he could. They said, let's take a day off and let's see Manaea pitch.
Right.
And I'm going to pat myself on the back right now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of our most listened to episodes we've done is when Bob Melvin was signed by us. And I said then, what would you give for Sean Manaea? And you were, that's going to be a hot trade item. And we just excused it like there's no way we were going to get Sean Manaea. We have Sean Manaea.
Yeah. I have lots of thoughts about this, and I'm going to try to unwind it with you. What you said is absolutely true, which is we have 5 legit proven starters in our rotation, MLB proven starters. And that's not counting the rest of those guys, and which is crazy amount of depth and talent.
Because Mackenzie Gore and Nick Martinez have pitched this spring like they would be on a starting rotation.
Yes.
Weathers has pitched all right. Clevenger has pitched all right.
Right.
And Paddock has pitched all right. And so is Ladelsa Lamet.
Right.
But I think we've all established that Lamet's going to be in the bullpen.
Yeah, I think Lamet stuff is too... Yeah, I wouldn't mind a guy who'd throw 100 miles an hour. Just
100 mile an hour and a 98 mile an hour slider?
Yeah.
And a 95 mile an hour sinker?
Yeah, let's have you be in the bullpen, bud.
He's our closer.
Yeah. I have so many thoughts about this. For one, how the heck can no other team in baseball match this or make this better? The White Sox just lost a starter. The Mets have 2 starters down.
They're 2 biggest starters.
And you're just being like, oh, we can't possibly match you with the number 8 and 18 prospect?
Only thing I can think of. Maybe Sean Manaea has one of those trade clauses that I have to okay the trade. Like,
that's a good question. I don't know.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go back to play under Bob Melvin. I'll play under Bob Melvin." That's the only thing I can think of, is that he might have something like that. Because, yes, we couldn't be the first person to make a Sean Manaea offer during this offseason. It makes no sense.
I don't get it.
And the reason, for those of you that, I don't think we've done a good enough job explaining, or maybe we've explained it too much. I don't know. I'm a little excited. Also, I've had an energy drink today and haven't had as much
you're drinking a Peach Mango Bang, not a sponsor, but they can be a sponsor.
Yes.
Reach out, Bang.
I sipped this and I thought I was transported to childhood when I used to drink Mango Madness Snapple. And went, oh, this tastes like that.
It does.
And anyways, I'm full of caffeine because Joseph woke me up after
I woke you up at 8:30 in the morning. Let's just, I didn't wake you up at 5. You sleep in a lot. I don't. But I thought 8:30 was a respectable time to still call you.
Yes, but when one goes to bed at 2:30.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Anyways, so where was I? Anyway, so what
we haven't explained enough or have explained too well
about Sean Manaea. Sean Manaea legitimately he's their ace in their lineup, in their rotation. Now, is he top 10 pitchers in baseball? No. Is he top 25? Definitely.
Yes.
Does he have incredible potential and stuff on in amazing movement on his pitches? Absolutely. Will he benefit for in a better defensive infield and outfield? Like, because the last couple years, the A's didn't have the best defense.
Right.
And they did also have the best offense production. But they still win because Bob Melvin's a genius. Or a wizard. We haven't quite decided what he is. So, yeah, I untapped potential, hasn't played for a real... He's played for a competitive team because Athletics are always competitive, but they're scrappy.
Right.
You're not walking into a game expecting 3 runs off the bat.
Right. Ruben Nibla plus Sean Manaea makes me very excited. I think that a lot of potential there. Musgrove and Clevenger being who they are, who are big tinkerers and big pitch mechanics guys, is going to help them a lot. And with Darvish, I mean, there's a lot that's going to be helpful for Sean Manaea. Saris tweeted, Sean Manaea doesn't throw super hard, but he has good shape on his pitches. Great extension makes his velo play, and he locates super well. Plus, he's a really good-natured dude whose smile will fit well in San Diego. Aww.
Yes.
Thanks, Saris.
And this is so bizarre. He doesn't throw very hard. He throws 95, 96.
Yeah,
That's the era that we live in.
doesn't throw very hard. I mean, still faster than anyone could consistently do 20 years ago. But yeah,
I know, exactly. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that he doesn't throw very hard. He throws harder than I could ever throw, and he had 194 strikeouts last year.
he's a good pitcher.
It's a very good pitcher. And here's an interesting stat I just saw, that he only hit 9 people. Because I don't know if you know this, the Padres currently have the two highest hit batsmen pitchers in all of baseball in our team.
What could go wrong?
And so I mean, and that would be the American Sniper himself,
Yeah.
and Joe Musgrove hit 18.
Yep.
Nothing compared to the 28 the other guy had.
Right. Who pitched in the third of the innings. So I get it. So, I'm very excited about this trade. I think it's a very, very good trade. But this means something else.
We have to talk about something else.
We have to talk about something else because
An April Fool's joke. We have to talk about an April Fool's joke. And for our very loyal listeners, you know that I posed a challenge to my younger brother and I that we would not mention a name of a player that us and the internet have been bad mouthing. So we are going to try to do this without mentioning a certain player's name.
right.
Your turn.
This certain player was heavily involved in rumors from a certain state media. New York State media and New York City media leaked the crap out of his potential deal of this first baseman who makes over $100 million in a contract with the San Diego Padres. And it was like dragged through Twitter so much, and the deal did not end up coming to fruition.
For a solid 14 hours yesterday,
Yeah.
rumors were flying that the Padres and Mets were going to do a trade. We were going to trade a bunch of cash,
Right. Paddock, Pagan,
and Pagan, and the first baseman to the Mets, and the Mets were going to give us Dom Smith.
right.
Apparently, AJ Preller proposed this trade to the Mets a week ago. And how trades work, basically you send them an email and it has a time. Give us an answer by this date. And by this date was yesterday. And somebody leaked this email that this was the proposed trade, and the internet went wild. Apparently the Mets never had any intention of accepting this trade, but the internet went crazy. Joey and I might have gotten a little excited, but you answered it perfectly, because the whole internet just got really excited, really upset, really excited again, really upset. Several quote-unquote writers for sports said throughout the day, it's confirmed, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I have to Google this person. Is this person legit? All right, he works for ESPN, so no, he's not legit.
Yeah.
For anybody out there, if they don't work for the Athletic, don't listen to them.
Yeah, it was pretty rough because every little detail was leaked. And it was just like, obviously not, to me, it was like you're not seriously considering a trade with someone if all you're doing is leaking to the press every little detail. And so a stark distinction with this trade, which came out of nowhere, no rumors about Sean Manaea to the Padres, it just dropped. So it makes you think, who's doing the leaking? New York Mets? Is it the Padres or is it the Mets?
Exactly, because the Padres probably did that to throw people off the scent.
Right.
Although I have to say, Joey, give yourself a pat on the back.
You can't see this audience, but I'm giving myself a pat on the back.
All right. Very nice. So yesterday, when the whole thing blew up that we weren't going to go through the trade, Joey tweeted, "I only trust AJ Preller trades when they come out of nowhere."
Yeah, right. I mean,
And this morning at the crack of dawn, we had one that came out of nowhere. Our 8:15 to the regular people out there.
so, why is this interesting? Is that Sean Manaea is owed $10 million this year. That will bring us to over the collective bargaining threshold. So, we are over the collective bargaining threshold, and we have an abundance of starting pitching, and we now have somewhat burned trust of a certain Miami-born first baseman.
Yes.
So, James,
And
I think this means a trade's going to happen.
yes, because I have no doubt that there's gonna be another trade
Yeah.
soon, even if we keep a certain first baseman,
Yes.
which I don't. Now we have a couple starting pitchers that we can legitimately trade and throw in a certain first baseman as like, you want these guys, you have to take him as well. So here's my thought. I was thinking this on my way over here. Out of our starting pitching, we can lose one of them and still be okay.
Yep.
And I'm not. We could lose a major piece. We could trade Darvish and Carantini as a package deal the way we got them and be fine. Because what starter? We have so many starting power. And I know last year we thought we had really good starting power too, and they all decided to break themselves. But we didn't have the same amount of. We didn't have 7 legit starters. That we had 6. No, we have 8 legit starters now, and we had 6 last year.
Bob Melvin says Sean Manaea is the world's best teammate. During COVID, he made signs for his teammates to hold up. And pitchers were required to sit in stands. They call him an infectious personality. Maybe don't put infectious after the word COVID, though. I don't know. Come on, Bob Melvin. Maybe that's how Bob Melvin tells jokes.
Just a little dark.
A little dark.
I'm okay with that. So our depth is great right now, and I think we could legitimately even trade. Well, what starting pitcher don't you think we can trade away?
I think the top 3, Musgrove, Snell, and Darvish.
I legitimately think we could trade Darvish to a team that needs a starting pitcher.
It's just not worth it because his upside's so much better.
I understand.
But I understand what you're trying to say. We can.
Like, legitimately, the only starting pitcher I think is not on the chopping block is Joe Musgrove because he's a hometown hero.
Right.
I legitimately think anybody is on the chopping block, and I think AJ Preller is going to flip a couple of these starters. And I honestly think, as much as I like Ryan Weathers, he might be on the chopping block as well.
Oh, I think a package deal of Paddock and Weathers for someone plus hot.
Almost.
I almost said it. I almost messed up.
Give yourself another pat on the back. You stop yourself.
Weathers, Paddock, and the aforementioned, whom we cannot name first baseman, is actually a pretty good deal if you also bundle money.
Yes.
Like, the Mets deal wasn't. I understand Mets fans. You don't want Eric. No. Which that was a good 20 minutes. Okay. The first baseman, you don't want him. I get it. We all can use baseball reference, okay? We all know it. We all get it. But $7 to $8 million for Pagan and Paddock for 2-3 years, that's actually not bad.
No.
Because Pagan can be a lights-out closer, and Paddock can be an incredible starter. Right? And so I felt like the deal wasn't that bad.
No,
Notwithstanding the person that I accidentally mentioned.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to have to beep it. Anyways. All right. Like I said, I think we're going to do another emergency episode before the season starts again, because there's no way these are the move. I mean, it might be. I have no problem going in with an elite starting rotation and 4 backup elite starters.
I agree. I think I'm going to be annoyed if we don't make a trade.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Because at this point, let's roll the dice on Mac Daddy. Right?
Yeah.
If Clevenger's out and Bob Melvin had a comment about Clevenger. It's like, Clevenger's returning to TJ very early, and we like it, and we think it's right, but it's like, let's just smooth stuff out. We don't need to rush it. We literally just got Sean Manaea. Like, let's not rush it, and let's have day one call up, Mackenzie Gore start April 8th or whatever, or April 12th. Let him induce ground balls to our starting second baseman CJ Abrams. Like, let's make this happen.
Exactly.
Because we are not a 95+ win team. That's just the reality, right? So let's use Bob Melvin's wizardry now with way better talent, and let's just make it happen. Let's bob and weave with talent that needs to be developed, and when we need not need to develop it, don't develop, right? Make a trade, roll the dice on Gore, and get rid of some starting pitching to give us a better left fielder, right? Because Profar is not a good starting left fielder. Okay, we've talked about this ad nauseum, right? James and I are very on board with this. You have so much of abundance now to just trade away. Make it happen.
Yeah,
just make it happen. Like, you can't tell me there's no other team in baseball wants starting pitching. Guess what? Sean Manaea was rumored to go to the Yankees, and they were too poor to pay for 2 prospects, which is absolutely dumb to me. Like,
very dumb. And also, I think when it comes to our rotation and our left fielder situation, I truly believe, just by the example of Tatis Jr. and now Abrams, who, if he's not on the starting lineup, that's a bad. He's hit better this spring training than Tatis did when he got his call for the majors. I think legitimately we're only going to get a left fielder for 1 year because they're really hoping Hassel III, Robert Hassel III, or Jason Mears will make the big leap next year, because
you always call him the wrong first name. Last week it was like Joseph Mears, and it's Jason Mears. It's Joshua Mears.
Joshua Mears. You want something funny? I've even met the kid. I gave him a high five at Lake Elsinore. Okay, meet the kids a bit.
I know what you mean.
But anyway, it's like, yes, Joshua Mears.
There you go.
So yeah, I legitimately think, because our farm system has been producing hitters very well, and I think legitimately Robert Hassel III might be a starting left fielder next year.
Oh yeah.
So we're looking for some sort of veteran left fielder that can hit 275, 20 home runs, and 70 RBIs. That's all we're looking for for 1 year. And maybe 2 years to give Robert Hassel III like a platoon situation, or we don't re-sign Myers.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's where we're at right now, looking long term. I am so. No one complains about having too much pitching.
Right.
But we have too much pitching.
Yeah, we have too much pitching for a team that has somewhat big holes,
Yes.
right? That's the thing.
We have a financial hole and we have a left fielder hole.
Yeah.
Because we can lose a certain first baseman and our infield will be better with the pieces that we have.
right. If we lose that first baseman, our infield gets better because we have more playing time for Cronenworth and potentially Abrams.
Yes. So as of right now, if we lose a certain first baseman, our infield would be, Machado, Kim, Abrams, and Cronenworth.
Yes.
And then if we get a left fielder, Jerickson can play second, first, and short.
Yep.
And I've seen him play third, but he's not really good. But he's
Right.
in a pinch, he could play third. And so we have depth there. And when we get Fernando back, that's even more depth.
Right.
So our biggest hole is left field.
Yeah. And it can be alleviated by, and I think this is a time in which you call up the Pittsburgh Pirates and like, hey, do you want 2 starting pitchers?
Yeah.
And a prospect?
Do you want 2 prospects?
Yeah.
We want
Brian
Reynolds. Not Ryan Reynolds. We want Brian Reynolds.
Though handsome, not a good baseball player.
Not that I'm aware of. And he's Canadian, so you never can trust them. That's not true.
There's like
I don't know why.
There's like 2 good Canadian baseball players. 3 maybe.
There's only 2 in the Hall of Fame.
Only 1 in the Hall of Fame, right?
There's 2.
Larry Walker and who else?
That picture that when Larry Walker gave his speech, he said,
Oh yeah.
was something.
See, this is how we're deep in Canadian baseball. We've gotten off the rails. No one wants to hear about Canadian baseball.
This is true. I again, we're just really giddy.
Right. I think this deal is awesome. I think that we're going to. I think you and I said we're going to do 1 more episode before opening day. I think we might have to do 2. I think there's a good chance we do 2 more episodes, another trade and the roster preview episode. So
The Padres just released a little mock-up of Sean Manaea in our uniform, smiling.
yeah.
He just looks like he's a Padre.
Oh yeah.
And again,
Great hair. Is that we have a good hair squad?
We
right?
do have a good hair squad.
Alfaro, Manaea. Those are like good hair additions.
That's going to be a great battery. Those 2
yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Also, we have too many catchers. We have too many catchers and too many starting pitchers.
That's why I said a Darvish, and I don't want it, but we could legitimately trade a Darvish and a Carantini again.
I'm gonna need some deals to happen because I'm not. If I have to root for a team that carries 4 catchers on their roster, I don't know. I don't know about that, man.
Here's the thing. Like I have already said, we have 1 catcher that's made out of glass that seems
Right.
to always be hurt. And honestly, I'd be okay with trading him too.
Yeah. Wow.
Because, he's a good offensive force, but he was only a good offensive force for the 3 weeks he was healthy last year.
Right. James, exciting stuff.
Very exciting.
I'm excited for baseball. Baseball's coming right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's in like 4 days. Incredible.
Yeah.
We got more podcasts to record before then. Any parting words of wisdom, James?
I am happy that only one of us was able to say.
What, James? What did I say?
I'm not going to say it.
I said it 1.5 times, too.
You said 1.5.
I caught myself the first time.
Yes,
Did
yes.
not catch myself.
One of us has better self-control, and it's not the one that stays up all night.
We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify. Thank you for listening. And until next time, go Padres.
Go Padres.
And there it is! Oh, doctor! You can hang a star